I'm getting ready to put together the Ikea Alex 6 drawer. Before getting started, a good tip is separate all your bits and pieces of your hardware as well as your drawer system. There's the back, separate it where you got room to work. If you're following my instructions, I want you to pay very close attention how I got this laid out. This is the back of the inside that's going to be facing inside the system. And what's important, make sure the 3 holes are at the top and this is coming down the holes that are coming down the side. Make sure if you're looking at your pieces, this is the direction you're going. Same thing on this side. Make sure the holes are on the side to this board and your 3 circles are there. If you notice on the outside here, there is none. It's very important to make sure you're putting this together correctly and not a piece upside down. Okay? What you're going to need now is 4 dowels and 6 of these. Now it should look like this. You got your middle pieces in your dowels. Okay? Make sure those metal pieces right here are screwed all the way down to the very bottom. If not, it's going to give you hardware trouble installing later. Now it looks like this. Before you put your metal pieces, this locks everything into these holes. Go inside and make sure there's no splinter pieces of wood, because if not, when you put these in, you're going to have trouble getting them in to go right. A good help with these things is to know which way they go. Your screw has to line up in here so this could go around it. So a good way is to take it just like this and make sure it faces downward towards the board that you're dealing with. Now it should look like this. We put these 3 on that side already. We're putting these 3 on this side already. And in this case, I want to make sure that curvature part is going this way to face the board. Okay, this is your top piece. Okay, and where these holes, these 3 holes are on each side, and that side, this is actually your top. We're going to put the top on first, but your top piece doesn't have any holes on it, unlike the board over there. That's your bottom. And it has holes on the front and back. You're going to put your dowels in now. Then you're going to take 6 of these and put them in like that on each side. Make sure you skip a hole. These screws are going in a lot, not as easy as the other ones. So what I recommend is use manually. Don't use your electric screwdriver on this one. And as you put it into your hole, get it as straight up and down that you can and try to screw a little bit at a time and make sure it stays straight as much as possible. If not, it's going to go crooked. Now take your pieces. Now take 3 on each side of these big ones and put it into your locking holes there in the back, and on each one turn it right until you get a snug fit. Now we're going to take the bottom piece, that's the inside of the bottom piece, and if you notice you got 2 holes, 1 in the middle and 2 more, that's on both sides. I want to mention, you see how the 4 holes are on the bottom of, it's going to be facing the floor, but I need to tell you something. Offset your piece a little like this so you can see, do these holes all line up like they're supposed to? If not, turn it around to those holes are on that side. Okay, see how the holes line up better? Because you're going to have to screw the holes into all 3 of those. It's off a little bit because I got to, straighten it out. But to give you an idea, the same goes for the top. as well, because I had to turn it around to line the holes up. Make sure the holes line up for your next step. Okay, this step, you're going to need the included Allen wrench thing and these type of screws. Make sure you look down in all 3 holes on each side and make sure you can see that this is going to go in, and you could give a little, twist there and go all the way around. And when you get back, before you start screwing on there, make sure you're flush here, okay, on each corner before you start screwing anything in. Okay, I just got the wheels on top of 2 spots, and I want to show you something. Make sure you play around with it and make sure the holes line up exactly on top, if you could see the holes where they go. Because I notice if you just set it down, it may not line up, and match up with the holes. So you may have to, twist it around until you get an even set before you start anything. So just kind of maneuver it back and forth. Okay, that's what it should look like installed on the bottom of your thing, your cabinet. I'll give you a little tip. These are the screws you're going to be using. They got the pointy end on them, and it's a Philip, a star head on them. I recommend doing this. Put one on this side or one on this side where they go across from each other, and halfway put them in before you put the other 2 in, and then install them in. That way you ensure an even and a snug fit. Okay, this is what we're done with. We got is the shell with the wheels on it. Now you can put rolling wheels on these other systems, which I'm going to do just so I could show you, but I'm going to finish building the set and I'll show it to you. Here's the layout of the drawers. This is how all the drawers are going to be put together. If you notice, the dowel is put in on each side, and then the locking screws, one on each side, which will look like that. Make sure your dip's there. Your panel, make sure the white is facing up, and it's got a little groove there and a little groove there. That is the back of your panel. So if you notice, all the lines are close to the panel. Okay, that's what the drawer should look like. You're going to take one of the small ones of these locking systems, one on each side, and put it right towards the bottom, which will be the front of the thing. Okay, lay your drawer on the side, put your 2 plastic screws there, get your mallet, and what I find is before you start is take your finger and make sure these are snug, and make sure none of your panel pieces have come loose from the sides. And then hammer one side in first, then go to the other side. One more tip here. When you're hammering these in, before you start hammering in, if you start seeing it's kind of trying to be a little wonky or crooked, as you hold this, you might have to let a finger kind of come around and just kind of let 2 fingers hold this way and pounce on your mallet just a few times just to get it to go in straight, to guide it, because if you can see they're a little crooked, and I purposely wanted to show you that before I start hammering them, because if you don't, it's not going to give you the flush fit and it's not going to go in correctly. So just keep an eye on that as you're holding this, and like I said, just 1 finger could do it as you pounce the mallet a little bit. Okay, these are the glass screws that are going to be left, the smallest ones with a Philip or a star screwdriver. If you watch my other videos, you'll see where that goes into the metal bar on the side to secure it in. And like I had said on the other videos, when you go to screw it in, if it doesn't want to hold your finger on the metal part this way and screw this in again so it'll catch, because sometimes the metal doesn't catch the grooves to screw it in with. Also, start from the bottom up is the easiest and the best way to do it. Your 3 biggest drawers are the last 3 on the bottom. Make sure you do the biggest drawers to the last 3. Okay, here's the Ikea Alex 6 drawer. Completed with wheels. This is how it's just kind of sitting. It's not going to stay there. As you see, I got things in the way, other boxes and stuff to do.